Good morning, traders. Welcome to this live webinar with Elite Currency. My name is Chris Svorcik, and we're going to take a look at our results from April with our 7 different systems, trading systems in Forex and CFD markets. So curious to see what kind of level of performance we got. Let's take a look at that right now. Okay, there we go. This is the full overview of all of our systems, and this is the performance of April 2024, last month. And of course, the total performance so far we've had with all of these 7 systems. So let me break it down very quickly for you. Of the 7, we had 6 positive systems performances there in May. So that's great. 1 was negative, very negative, in fact. And that was, yes, a system that has not been doing that well. It's been basically jumping up and down. So we didn't have much much good track record with that one in the last 2 years. And April was not that good, obvious, with minus 21%. But the other 6 positive systems there, ranging anywhere from 1.6% up to almost 6% in positive gain there in just 1 month. And as you can see, the total performance on some of these systems has been more than 100%. So we have also a lot of positive news to explain to you in April this year. All right, let's start with Flagship first of all. Flagship is our most prominent, best performing, lowest risk approach. And for me, I made 4.5% in April. So that's great. I'm very happy with that. And the total going up to more than 120%. Flagship is the one with the longest track record. What we show here is based on 2 years, but we've been actually have had live trading track record with Flagship since November 2019. So that basically means 4.5 years almost. This month will conclude 4.5 years. So that's quite lengthy. Now, of course, past results do not guarantee anything in the future, but obviously, I wouldn't be trading the system with almost $500,000 if I didn't have a lot of confidence in its performance, in its structure, in its responsiveness. So yes, for me, of course, the track record is part of the reason why I also like the system, but not the only reason. So Flagship, my personal number one, the system where I have the most capital invested in. But I also diversify. I try to spread my capital over multiple investments to reduce the risk. Okay. And the other systems, among others, are Athena EA. I had a pretty good month, plus 3.5%. Cronus, almost 4%. Hades and Hermes, about 1.6%. And Zeus had a whopping almost 6% and made a great performance there on April. The total for Flagship is more than 120%. Athena EA is 109.5%. Cronus 57%, Hades 44%, and Hermes and Zeus both hanging around 20%. And he says signal back to where it started at basically 1%. Okay, now let's take a look at these systems one by one. First of all, Flagship. If you go to the members area of Elite Currency, about a year ago, we completed a beautiful interface for all of the members. So in the members area, you see not only how much you invested, but what your profit and loss is, what your net return is, where you can invest. Maybe I'll quickly show you at the end of the webinar how that looks like. And you would see one of these pictures is this. And you can see my balance, more than $500,000, my profits, more than 280,000, and my profit and loss as a percentage, more than 120%, okay? Now, all of my accounts, because I have quite a long list of accounts, because I have diversified this $500,000 over multiple brokers. I don't have this capital on just one broker. I like to diversify to reduce the risk. And this is one of my accounts, okay? And you can see a nice growth here with plus 250% in performance, okay? Athena EA. Oh, and by the way, as you can see with the performance of the flagship, monthly performance is 6.4%, and the drawdown is just about 10.3%. Athena EA and flagship has been, in this particular track record, has been ongoing with this particular account for 1.5 years. Okay, but as I said, I've been trading this for 4.5 years. But this particular, as I have grown in capital, the number of accounts I have has expanded. So the accounts that I've traded that I started trading 4.5 years ago, I don't trade anymore with that particular broker. I traded that broker for 2 years, then I switched brokers, and from that moment on, I also started to diversify with more brokers. Okay, so that's the story or the history behind that. That particular account has been open for 4.5 years, but I've been trading flagship for 4.5 years. Athena EA has a track record now of 2 years and 2 months. It has a monthly average of almost 3%, drawdown slightly higher. It is also a grid system, so that's something to be aware of and to be cautious of. That's one of the reasons why I have less capital on this. I have a few thousand on this, so maybe 1% of all my capital. So it's not much, but still, it's a valuable diversification. As I said, it's not as much as flagship, of course, because it is a grid system, but it's still a system that I appreciate and I like to trade, and I like to risk a little bit of my capital on this system. Okay. Then we have Cronus. Is one of our newer systems, has been running since June, which means that this month we'll be completing a year on this system. And it's been averaging a monthly average of 4.16% per month, and it has a drawdown of 12.7. So the drawdown is less than Athena EA, but the performance is higher. So that promises a lot. However, of course, the length, the track record length of Cronus is shorter, and the length of Live EA is longer. It's 2 years and 2 months. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at next one, Hades. It's a bit longer. It's been now a year and 2 months. It has had 44% profit in the meantime, 2.4% per month, with a drawdown of almost more than 29%, almost 30%. So of course the drawdown is better on Cronus. The drawdown is better on Flagship. Drawdown is steeper on Athena and Hades. So of course, from that perspective, Cronus and Flagship are the ones I have more capital on. Cronus, I have 17,000 euros on, so that's substantially more than Athena, of course. But again, less than Flagship. So that's how I have it kind of organized, is that I look at the monthly return, I look at the drawdown, and that's with the ones that I find the most interesting. I put more and more capital on those. But I like to still diversify with Hades as well. And then we have Signals, of course. Well, yeah, that I don't have any particular capital on this particular mix. I do have some capital on the underlying systems below this, like Hades. But as you can see, it's been break even for all that time. So I would like to see more. Yeah, this is not something that's interesting to invest. But we keep trying. We keep changing the mix here, but so far no success with this one. But that can happen. We have luckily 6 other EAs that are doing great, but this one is not a winning combination, or it's not a losing combination, but it's not winning enough, at least. Let me say it this way. Okay, and then we have Hermes EA with plus 20%, and almost 3% per month, and a drawdown of 33.96%. Okay, also pretty good. Zeus EA is up And Hermes has been trading for a little bit shorter period of time. That's been about 7 months. Okay, so it still needs more track record, like most of these EAs, but Hermes is particularly short with just more than 6 months. Zeus EA, 2.1% per month, drawdown a little bit higher. Not sure if that drawdown is correct, because here I only see it reaching minus 25%, but okay. Still an EA that I like to trade as well. Steady performance as well. All right, now let me show you quickly. Let's see. 1 second, folks. There we go. I hope you see this now. Yeah, good. This is the back. This is the back office or the members area of Elite Currency. As you can see here, it's nicely interfaced with all the numbers you can imagine, with profit and loss, the balance, how you can invest, the purchases, the offers, the transaction history, how you can connect to our brokers that we are cooperating with, track record in percentages, performance by method, profit and loss per broker, okay? Periodic performance, as you can see this month, great performance so far, as you can see. Activity of the systems, how to invest, my active investments, okay? But also free signals, the funding, affiliates. So there's a lot of things to look at here. I think how you can become a client. So very interesting. And as you can see, this month is off to a great start again. So yeah, I'm just excited about Flagship in general, but this month again, a great performance. So if you want to become a member, and I think that could be interesting for those that have some risk capital to spare. Of course, you should only trade with capital you can afford to risk and lose. And to do that, yeah, you can basically write us at info@elitecurrency.com. I don't have that email address here. Sorry about that. But it's info@elitecurrency.com. Okay, and then you can write us how you can join any of these AAs or the Flagship, either by renting the EA or joining our managed account. With the Flagship, there's only the option of managed account, but with the other EAs, you can either run the EA yourself or invest in our PAMs and let us do the management. Okay, if you let us do the management, you pay a profit share when there's profit each month. If you are managing the EA, then you have to rent or buy it. Okay, so that's the difference. With the EAs, you can choose mostly, I think, with almost all of them, you could choose either renting or managing. With Flagship, there's only the option of management. Okay. If you're curious about our track records on my FX book, you can find all the information here with these two links. Once again, Flagship in a nutshell: 4 years of trading, 4+ years. Only one losing month per year, with a loss that typically was around 3 to 4%, not more. And yeah, the very consistent, robust, low drawdowns. So I'm very excited about that. And well, that's about it, folks. I think we explained all the performances in April. Good month, except with those ECS signals. Otherwise, all plus. Very, very happy about that. I wish everyone great trading in 2 weeks' time. We should be back with a new webinar. That's on the 23rd of May. We'll take a look at the outlook of Bitcoin, Eurodollar, the dollar in general, gold, DAX, US 30, and other Forex currency crosses. All right. So looking forward to that. And hope that you can join the live webinar. Otherwise, you can see us on YouTube with the recording. Okay. Wish everyone great trading and see you soon. Bye-bye. Cheers.